Our best stories this year, a weather recap, and a mystical look into 2026. This is ANN. Good day, Aspenia. I am Robbie Origami, and this is,
Snoopit.
I've practiced for a whole year to get this person's name right. Do you think I can do it?
Probably not.
Sloobert Goobert.
Wrong.
I was close. And we're here to present you with the 2025 Year in Review. Well, I am here to do the Year in Review. Sloobert over here's job.
Snoopit Gobit.
Your job is to what? What's your job here? Clearly it's to annoy me. Right, cool. I'm so glad you get paid the same as me. Nope, I get paid more. Aspenia has had quite the productive year on YouTube, with 16 new videos since January. ANN has also had quite the glow up, going from what can be barely even described as news to what it is today. Still not really news, but hey, at least we upload regularly-ish throughout the summer. This channel has gone from having a rather pathetic subscriber count of 5, up to having enough subscribers that if we stack them on top of each other, we would be roughly 0.00680555805% closer to outer space. We also have a combined total of 8,515 views as of the time of writing. And if each of those views is a single...
Racial slur.
If each of those views was a single egg, we still not would be able to beat the world record for most eggs in one omelet. ANN has covered a lot of stories over the past year, so here's our definitely scripted recap. Let's get into it. We started off the summer with a rather troubling beginning, with Prince Ben, Liam, and Faith being kidnapped by evil vegan hippie octopus aliens from British Columbia. We replaced them with 7 new citizens, being Selene, Valentine, David, William, Jeff, Graham, and Taylor. But trouble struck again when a lightning storm struck a fire next to Badger, right across the river. Boom! Fire! Death! Sadness! Destruction! Pain! Who wrote this script? The Kingdom of Aspenia and Siku Field also had a spike in crime rate from 0 to 1!
Oh no!
These crimes were all committed by the same person. You know who you are. Sand was charged at the end of the summer with 2 counts of assassination, 1 count of treason, 1 count of attempted murder, and 5 counts of being stinky. These are real crimes. Tragically, everybody's favorite red van, Violet, was brutally murdered by, I don't know, them.
67.
Yeah, 67 destroyed our red van. It was a tragic death that affected everybody. I still wake up in the middle of the night crying because I had a dream that the red van was still there, but I wake up and I remember! In 2022, there was a very massive fire outside of Grand Falls, Windsor. But, you know, now that entire section of forest is completely burned out. So, some people were going out there to replant the forest. You know, go environment. Problem being that one of them left their cigarette in a little water bottle, threw it into the woods, it caught fire. Don't
do drugs!
That's relevant?
It catches forest on fire!
They set fire to the very forest they were trying to heal from a fire.
Bitch.
Everybody's favorite enemy and pickle target, Nowhere, which we were at war with last year, has been incorporated as an autonomous region within Aspenia, and their Grand Poobah as the, Fook? Duke?
Duke, a Luke, Duke.
The duchy, the fletchy, the...
Yeah, he's the Duke of the Futchy.
The little fucky, got it.
Anyway, they were incorporated as an autonomous Futchy within Aspenia. This July, there was a surprise election called by Josie, and she had a radical bid for her presidency, including, and not limited to, free pancakes, unspecified amount of pancakes, but free pancakes, at least once a week, and a court. That's right, so that you could sue people, specifically so that she could sue people that she didn't like. Yes. But unfortunately, she somehow lost to Hassan, who was very controversially reelected because one of his votes, which he got with the majority, wasn't really legitimate. So Sand and Josie were, in fact, pretty mad about that, and they were going to strike and do something, protest. I don't know, they just never did. When one war ends, another begins. Aspenia went into a brutal war this year with the other Aspenia.
Oh my god!
That's right. There is another Aspenia. It is located somewhere in the United States. They have a really dumb flag, and they send slugs to live in our water pipes. We couldn't drink water for a really long time. It was so terrible. I couldn't make tea.
What?
Only Patrick Pinkleton would do such a thing.
When one thing goes wrong, another goes right. We got Wi-Fi in the guide villa. It was great until Sands decided to commit domestic terrorism, and he plugged in the battery charger. It's the wrong cord. Fried the whole thing. Earlier this summer, a federal worker dropped off this strange green box thing on a tree. It said it was for trapping moths, but we all know that it was actually for trapping aliens. Except that that's what they want you to think, because it's actually a surveillance device to spy on us so that Canada can take their revenge for just declaring independence. No! Super warm temperatures and hot weather in the late August and early September led to an exploits river drought. The water levels were so low that the water levels were so low at the Beothic Lake that none of the water was actually even touching the dam. These pictures were taken by the princess in September when the water level was at its lowest. That's right. That is what the river looked like during that time. Now, we've had a lot of stories. That was only a small fraction of them. And to help cover these stories, we've gotten new characters. Such as, whatever. I'm just gonna roll a montage of them, because I can't remember their names.
Why do you want to be president?
So I can take control of the world.
A Denmark zoo has begun asking locals to donate their small pets as food for their carnivores.
Hello, I am Paul. Not Perry, or Plary, or Polly, just Paul. The weather for this week is as follows.
Nature environments and how they are doing. And I have a witness here with me, this tree. How do you feel, tree? Got a classic case of sandwich stalkers.
Definitely aliens. What is before nowhere's future? How will the meeting on the 4th go?
Alright, we will now be going to Gary for a special weather recap of this year. Take it away, Gary!
Thank you, Robbie. The weather for this year was...
Gary, don't you think you're a bit underdressed for the weather?
You're beautiful, Gary.
Maybe you are underdressed. I look beautiful, but mommy and that person tells me I'm beautiful every single day. Maybe you should have been less of a bitch, you know?
So, you're so handsome, Gary. You're the handsomest.
Whatever, just continue on with the report, okay?
Yeah, Gary.
Of course. The weather for this year started off really wet and cold in the beginning of June. Then there were a lot of thunderstorms, with the lightning bolts becoming a more common occurrence as they used to be. One of these lightning bolts set a fire. It was very sad. There was a poor air quality from the massive amount of smoke coming from the local and faraway fires. I choked to death at one time, but I was saved by farmers market baby cut the carrots. There were hotter, drier weathers leading to droughts and more fires. There was lots of rain in the autumn, bringing the water level back up to a normal amount. I know that great rattling brook went up all the way to 1 cubic kilometer of water going down the brook per second. That was very fast. I went swimming there and I melted like a witch. It was so scary. And then there were like 1,000 million meters of snow that came on. There's just pan over there, show them the snow. Good cameraman, now pan back to me. Yes, lots of snow. Alright, that was the weather for this year. Very hot, very wet, very droughty. Yes, let's just hope that next year is better, so I can finally go rafting. Alright, back to you, Robbie!
Thank you, Gary. We will now be covering ongoing developments in Aspenia. That's right, they're developments, and they're ongoing.
Oh my god.
Our first one is we're expecting 2 new laws. So the first one is a traffic law that would forbid all vehicles from going past the parking lot on Death Road.
Oh my god.
And if you defy this, then you will get your parking and your driving permits in Aspenia revoked, and you'll have to go and park somewhere else. Not our problem.
You'll get sent to the crunchy. You'll get
We
sent to
also
Shiptown.
we also have a new citizenship law that makes it so that you have to spend 2 summers in a row in Aspenia to be given citizenship. And if your parents are citizens, you will become a citizen. But if you then have kids without spending 2 summers in Aspenia, your kids will not become citizens. If that makes any sense. Aspenia has expanded its foreign diplomacy, talking with new micronations online, getting interviewed and totally mogged by the Phoenix Emperor of Huscaria. We attended the League of Independent Nations 100th session, so that's cool, I guess. We were also elected as deputy mediator, where we promptly did nothing. Our foreign diplomacy is just we do nothing, and we pretend that we're doing everything. Genius. An example of this doing nothing, pretending we're doing everything law is recently Aspenia entered negotiations with Kipstania over a random suburb in Bulgaria. So this piece of land had apparently belonged to a previous micronation that was under Kipstania's belt. But though the Tsar of Kipstania and the leader of that micronation, they don't work together anymore. And so, the Tsar of Kipstania was looking to give this land to someone else. So Aspenia took up the offer. And in negotiations, it was agreed that the Tsar of Kipstania would rule over this land. But it would belong to Aspenia. But Kipstania would rule it. So we convinced somebody to give land to himself. Masterful. Masterful.
Absolute cinema.
Exactly. Absolute diplomacy.
Yes.
We
Insert your
are
credit card.
peak micronation. Alright, our last and final segment is Wacky Predictions, made by Barry.
Oh my god.
Take it away, Barry!
Thank you, Robbie. Let us gaze into the crystal ball for 4 new predictions for 2026. Starting off strong, Aspenia will be the first country to send a man to Pluto. Next, a meteorite will land directly next to Darren as he is defecating. The very first chicken-emu hybrid will be born in Aspenia. And final prediction, something terrible will happen to an inflatable unicorn. Alright, here's to a wonderful and prosperous future. Back to studio.
Thank you, Barry, for those interesting predictions.
Barry, you suck ass at predicting.
Oh, wait! It's 11:59 p.m. 5, 4, 3, I don't know how to count! Happy New Year! Wait, no, I read that wrong.
Oh.
It's 5:31 p.m. and it's December 29th. Well, go home, everybody!
Go home!
Ba-ba.